Welcome to Business Studies Lessons. Principles of Management, Chapter 2. This is the first part of this lesson. In the first chapter, Nature and Significance of Management, we saw the following topics such as characteristics of management, nature of management, importance of management, functions of management, and coordination. Management is a goal or oriented process because it has got a goal, just one single goal, and all work towards that goal. It is all pervasive because it can be used in different kinds of organizations. It is multidimensional because it is management of work, management of people, and management of operations. And it is a continuous process because all the functions of the management is being used there, like planning, staffing, directing, controlling, and it is a group activity. A group, all the individuals work together as a group. It is a dynamic function because it can be changed. It can be adapted, and it is an intangible force. You cannot see it, but you can feel it. What are the importance of management? Achieving the goals, improve the efficiency of the business, dynamic in nature that changes can be brought, achievement of personal goals, not only organizational goals, but it helps to achieve it helps the employees to achieve their goals, and development of the society. In nature of management, we checked if management is an art. So yes, management is an art because all the features of art, it resembles the management. If is management a science? It is an inexact science because all the uh, all the features doesn't match, because you cannot experiment with human behavior. Other than that, existence of a body of knowledge, and it has been derived through practice and experiment. All those things are there, but it is not an exact science. Is management a profession? No, because there is no restricted entry. The manager need not be a part of an association. There is no code of conduct to follow mandatorily, and all business organizations do not have service as their motto. They have mainly have profit to they have profit making as their main objective. Levels of management, in that you have three levels: top level, middle level, and lower level management. Top level management has the senior most people who are in charge of creating an objective for the organization, and implementing the policies, framing the policies and implementing them, directing the other levels of management. Middle level management are mainly department heads, and lower level management are supervisors who directly supervise the workers. In this chapter, we are going to learn principles of management meaning, nature of principles of management, significance of principles of management, principles of scientific management, and Fayol's principle of management. आज के इस चैप्टर पे हम कवर करेंगे प्रिंसिपल्स ऑफ मैनेजमेंट मीनिंग, nature of principles of management, and significance of principles of management. What do you understand by principles of management? In order to understand principles of management, we should understand the meaning of the word principles and recollect what we learned about management. What do you understand by the word principles? A principle is a fundamental truth or proposition that serves as the foundation for a system of belief or behavior or for a chain of reasoning. प्रिंसिपल का मतलब सिद्धांत, तो प्रिंसिपल वो नियम या तत्व है जो एक नींव की तरह काम करता है, जिनके ऊपर हम विश्वास करते हैं और हमारे तर्क निर्भर हैं. In science, we can say that this device works on the principle of conductivity. In commerce, we can say that this principle applies to all kind of selling, which just means some rules. Principle of management is important for all kinds of business organization. What do you understand by management? Do you remember what we learned? Management is the process of getting things done with the aim of achieving goals effectively and efficiently. Effectively is related to end result and efficiently is related to reducing cost by reducing the wastage of resources. Now let us find out what is principles of management. Principles of management are broad and general guidelines for managerial decision making and behavior. Broad general guidelines can simply be stated as rules. For instance, we will give our employees piece rate system to motivate them. This piece rate system is one of the principles or one of the rules or rewarding the employees financially. These guidelines are just like rules and regulations a student need to follow. It will be written in our school diaries. स्कूल डायरी एक आधार है जिसके अनुसार हमें हमें चलना पड़ता है. Students must follow those rules. When business faces problems and when we need to recruit a manager, we are all using these guidelines. Management principles are not as rigid as principles of science, as this deals with human behavior and thus are to be applied creatively given the demands of the situation. Why? Because all human beings are different and every business environment also is different. That is why it is known as an inexact science. प्रिंसिपल्स ऑफ मैनेजमेंट को बदला जा सकता है क्योंकि हम मनुष्यों के स्वभाव से निपट रहे हैं, जिसको सोच समझ के करना चाहिए, जिसको आवश्यकता अनुसार बदलना भी चाहिए. लेकिन प्रिंसिपल ऑफ साइंस को हम बदल नहीं सकते क्योंकि ये सत्य पर आधारित है. Science formulas or maths formulas remain same in all situations. Explain the nature of principles of management. We have learned nature of management in our previous lesson. क्या आपको याद है? Let's find out the meaning of these subheadings. What do you understand by multidisciplinary? Multidisciplinary means it includes knowledge from various disciplines such as economics, statistics, maths, psychology, sociology, etc. And it is also applicable in various fields of activities. Universality of management. It indicates that management is common in content and can be applied to all forms of organization. So, an industrial manager can manage a charitable organization, any regular business organization, a hospital, an industrial company, and so on. Is management a profession? No, because even though it has got a systematic body of knowledge, there is no restricted entry for the profession. There is no association a manager need to join mandatorily, and there is no strict code of conduct to follow, nor all organizations strictly stick on to service motive. What do you understand by dynamic nature of principle? What do you understand by the dynamic nature of principle? Even though management has principles that are based on observation and practice, still these principles are flexible in nature and can be changed as per the business environment. What do you understand by relative, not absolute principle? When you have just one variable, it is called absolute. For instance, this tree. You are measuring the height of the tree. It is relative when you have two variables. Here you are saying that which tree is taller. So you are comparing two trees. What do you understand by relative, not absolute principle? Management principles are relative, not absolute, and they should be applied according to the needs of the organization. Management is both art and science. Management is an art because it is acquired through practice, knowledge, and creativity, whereas it is not a complete science, even though it is universally accepted and it has cause and effect relationship. Moving on to the next lesson objective, nature of principles of management. Let's see them one by one. First one, universal applicability. We have learned this in characteristics of management, all pervasive, which means the same. The principles of management is applicable in all types of organization, such as business organization, non-business organization. It can be charitable or voluntary organization, small enterprise, large enterprise, depending on the nature of the organization. किसी भी तरह के organization को manage करने में हमारी मदद करते हैं. Say in managing a school or hospital or even a shop. The second one is general guidelines. They are general guidelines to action and decision making. It does not provide straight solution to all the managerial problems as the business situations are complex and dynamic. इसका मतलब क्या हुआ? प्रिंसिपल्स ऑफ मैनेजमेंट सिर्फ एक तरह का गाइड है जिसके आधार पर हम काम करते हैं या निर्णय लिया जाता है. मैनेजमेंट की सारी परेशानियों का सीधा साधा हल नहीं है क्योंकि बिजनेस परिस्थितियां कॉम्प्लेक्स एंड डायनामिक हैं, जिसका मतलब जटिल और गतिशील है, माने कि हमेशा बदलती रहती हैं. However, they do not provide ready-made solutions as the business environment is ever changing or dynamic. सिंपल सा ये समझ लो कि the way I teach business studies, it's totally different from what the other person teaches. I cannot force another teacher to teach in the same way. It may not be effective. Principles of management is formed by practice and experimentation. They are formed from the knowledge or what has been learned from years of experience, from experiments of the manager. They implement certain plans. They keep an eye on those plans, whether it is working or not. So, principle of management को किस तरह से बनाया गया है? Principles को ज्ञान, अनुभव और निरंतर प्रयोग पर आधारित है. Principles of management are flexible. These principles are not rigid, can be adapted modified by the practicing managers depending upon the situation, as they are man-made principles. Before, correspondence course was considered of less value, but after COVID, it opened up a new dimension for online classes. When, due to COVID, schools closed down, schools brought changes in the way it worked. It adapted to online system of education. Financial accounts need to be prepared every year, but there is a flexibility that it can be prepared from January 1 to 31st December or from 1st of April to 31st March. Principles of business, इसलिए इसलिए कहते हैं कि प्रिंसिपल्स ऑफ बिजनेस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन और प्रिंसिपल्स ऑफ मैनेजमेंट अवस्था के अनुसार बदलते रहते हैं. Principles of management is mainly behavioral. Since the principles aim at influencing complex human behavior, they are behavioral in nature. क्योंकि मनुष्य के स्वभाव अलग हैं और जटिल हैं, समझना मुश्किल है. These principles insist on improving the relationship between supervisors and subordinates and all the members of the organization. ये principles संबंधों को सुधारने में जोर देते हैं. Principle of management is based on cause and effect relationship. They are intent to establish relationship between cause and effect so that they can be used in various situations, such as action or what has happened and decision making. Just like how we find reasons for why a student did not perform, दुनिया में सब कुछ जो भी कुछ होता है उसके पीछे कारण होता है. In the same way, organization also, when they face a problem, they try to find out what is the reason behind it. Principles of management are contingent. Their applicability depends upon the prevailing situation at a particular point of time. इसका मतलब ये हुआ कि जरूरी नहीं है हर स्थिति में ये काम करे. कुछ पे काम कर जाता है, कुछ पे नहीं. जैसे पहले बच्चे शैतानी करते थे तो उनको हम मार के ठीक कर देते थे, लेकिन क्या आजकल हम ऐसे कर सकते हैं? बच्चों को छू भी सकते हैं? The application has to be changed as per situation. तो ये जिस तरह से हम मैनेजमेंट प्रिंसिपल्स को हम यूज कर रहे हैं किसी सिचुएशन में, उसको हमें बदलना पड़ता है सिचुएशन के अनुसार. According to Terry, management principles are capsules of selected management wisdom to be used carefully and discreetly. टेरी क्या कहते हैं कि ये एक दवाई की तरह है जिसमें एक रोग को ठीक करने की क्षमता है. जैसे क्षमता है तो इसको हमें क्या करना चाहिए? बड़े सावधानी से उपयोग करना चाहिए पूरी परिस्थिति को समझ के, ताकि इससे किसी का नुकसान ना हो. Third lesson objective: explain the significance of principles of management. These are the points to be discussed in significance of principles of management. Principles of management provides manager with useful insight into reality. Principles of management guides managers with useful insight. So significance, what is the meaning of the word significance? का मतलब हुआ महत्व. So like a guide, हम सबने tour guide को देखा हुआ है. So like a guide, management principle guides managers to take right decision at the right time by providing their knowledge, ability, understanding of various managerial situations and circumstances. So principle of management एक guide की तरह है. Insight मैंने अंतर्दृष्टि. किस लिए चाहिए? असली दुनिया को समझने के लिए चाहिए. Adherence माने stick on to या अमल करते हो तो, if you follow this, if you follow the rules. जैसे we have to adhere to the terms of the contract, or students have to adhere to the timetable which has been put up on the notice board. Similarly, managers have to adhere to the principles of management. क्यों? क्योंकि it will guide them to improve their knowledge, ability and understanding of various managerial situations and circumstances. तो इससे क्या होगा? एक अंडरस्टैंडिंग मिलेगी, एक नॉलेज मिलेगा, तो they will be able to take the right decision at the right time. Optimum utilization of resources and effective administration. Optimum means best. Utilization means use. So best use of resources and effective administration in the best possible way, manage in the best possible way. सो जिस तरह से युद्ध में जाने से पहले ही सैनिक अपना कवच वगैरह डाल के तैयार होते हैं, उसी तरह मैनेजमेंट प्रिंसिपल ऑल्सो इक्विप द मैनेजर्स to see the cause and effect, money advantages and disadvantages of whatever decision they are going to take or whatever actions they are going to take, so that it will help them to reduce their wastage and reduce their cost. Resources money sansadhan. So there are various types of resources a company can have: financial resources, natural resources, man-made resources, and human resources. The resources with the company are limited. जो आवश्यकतानुसार ही उपलब्ध हैं। क्यों? क्योंकि हर चीज की एक कीमत होती है। And there is a limitation on how much a company can spend on its resources. There is one more meaning for optimum utilization of resources, which is maximum benefit with minimum cost. For instance, एक कॉमर्स टीचर को बिजनेस भी पढ़ाने के लिए रखें, अकाउंट्स भी, एक साइंस टीचर से फिजिक्स, केमिस्ट्री और बायोलॉजी। सो हमेशा मैनेजमेंट यही देखता है कि किस तरह से रिसोर्सेज का मैक्सिमम यूज किया जा सके। Scientific decisions. Decisions must be based on facts. What are facts? Facts are truth. For instance, facts about human body that we have 206 bones. And thoughtful. Thoughtful because manager must think in employee's point of view while taking a decision. For example, say fixing salary for him. Justifiable, and there should be justice in his decision ताकि सबको इंसाफ हो सके. Management principles help the manager to make decisions that are timely and realistic, subject to measurement and evaluation. Timely means on time, and realistic means based on facts and not by guessing. These decisions must be measured and evaluated from time to time. For example, students किस तरह से परफॉर्म कर रहे हैं, ये जानने के लिए हमें उनका परफॉर्मेंस मेजर करना जरूरी है by keeping exams or tests. इसके अलावा सारे एग्जाम रिजल्ट्स को इवैल्यूएट करना भी जरूरी है to check if there is any improvement in their results or not, or to find out what corrective actions need to be taken, या वो किस सब्जेक्ट में वीक हैं या कौन सा सब्जेक्ट अच्छी तरह परफॉर्म कर रहे हैं. Principles are free from bias and prejudice. फ्री फ्रॉम पर्सनल बायस माने इसमें कोई पक्षपात ना हो. अगर किसी एक व्यक्ति को किसी दूसरे व्यक्ति के लिए बिना किसी कारण से नफरत हो तो उसे प्रेजुडिस कहते हैं. बट हियर द principles are same for all. Not bias means every aspect is given equal importance. Prejudice, accusing someone without any valid reason. Meeting the changing environmental requirements. Management principles are effective and dynamic and thus help the organization to meet the changing requirements of the environment. Management principles effective हैं क्योंकि समय की पाबंदी है और डायनामिक हैं माने इसमें हमेशा बदलाव ला सकते हैं, साइंटिफिक प्रिंसिपल्स की तरह नहीं. So it helps the organization to implement changes. Fulfilling social responsibility. Principles of management not only help in achieving organizational goals but also guides managers in performing social responsibilities. What are the social responsibilities? Organization is liable to serve the community by providing them with jobs, improve infrastructure, not to pollute the environment, and also use eco-friendly products which are not harmful to the people and to the environment. Due to increased awareness of the public forces, all companies are required to fulfill some social responsibilities. जैसे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में काम करने वाले व्यक्तियों को उचित मुआवजा देना, पर्यावरण को प्रदूषित ना करना, ऐसा न करने से कुछ सोशल सर्विस ग्रुप्स जिनको हम प्रेशर ग्रुप्स कह सकते हैं, they will take actions against the business. So it is very important that we fulfill the social responsibility. Management training, education and research. Management principles are the core of management and are helpful in increasing knowledge, which forms the basis for management training and research. Management principles are identifying in helping the areas in which existing and future managers should be trained. They also provide the basis for future research. It's review time now. Let's revise what we have learned. Meaning of principles of management, nature of principles of management, and significance of principles of management. What do you understand by principles of management? Principles of management are broad and general guidelines for managerial decision making and behavior. Management principles are not rigid as they are dealing with humans. गाइड की तरह हैं जो हम रेफर कर सकते हैं. इसमें लिखे हुए सिद्धांत जटिल नहीं है क्योंकि ये मनुष्यों के व्यवहार पर आधारित है. What is the nature of principles of management? Are you able to recollect what we learned in nature of principles of management? Do you know what each one means? Let's check your level of understanding. So first one is flexible. What does it mean? Flexible means principle of management can be changed as per the situation. And what is mainly behavioral? Mainly behavioral means it deals with human behavior. Next one is cause and effect relationship. What does it mean? Cause and effect relationship means actions and decisions are based on a scientific principle, cause and effect relationship. And next is contingent. Contingent means even though we are planning well ahead of what we are going to do, still these plans are likely to change. What is universal applicability? Universal applicability means it can be used, principles of management can be used by any types of business. What is general guidelines? It provides the general format and rules. Last one is formed by practice and experimentation. Which simply means that these principles of management are formed by practice and experimentation. What are the significance of principles of management? So first one, we are taking meeting the changing environment requirement. What does it mean? It means you can bring changes as per the needs of the business. Next one is fulfilling social responsibilities. Which means business has some responsibility towards its society. Next one is management training, education and research. Because there is need to update the employees through training, through education and through research. And next one is providing managers with useful insight to reality. It helps the managers to know what is happening in the real world and optimum utilization of resources and effective administration. Which means how to manage the resources in the best possible way. And next and the last one is scientific decision. It helps the managers to take decisions that are factual, thoughtful, and justifiable, and their decisions are free from bias and prejudice. It's question time. Which of the following statement is true with reference to principles of management? The principles of management have evolved. The principles of management are yet to be evolved. The principles of management are in the continuous process of evolution. None of the above. C is the right answer. The principles of management are in the continuous process of evolution because these principles have evolved over a long period of time with continuous practice and experimentation. The principles of pure science is considered to be dash in nature. It's an easy question. Is it flexible, rigid, creative, and none of the above? What do you think it is? The answer is rigid. The principle of pure science is not flexible, it is rigid. The principles of management has been developed on the basis of observation, experimentation, personal experiences of the manager, and all of the above. What do you think it should be? It is all of the above because based on observation of the managers, their experimentation on various plans, their personal experiences, all this based on all this principles of management has been developed. Which of the following statement is true with reference to principles of management? The principles of are guidelines to action. The principles denote a cause and effect relationship. Principles help the managers to take decisions while performing various management functions. All of the above. Hope you remember we spoke about how it acts as a guide for actions and decision making. So first one is that. Second one is it is based on cause and effect relationship. For every decision, they will see the advantages and disadvantages, and based on that, they will decide whether to take that decision or not. Then it helps the managers to take decisions while performing various other management functions also. What are the other management functions? It is planning, staffing, directing, controlling, organizing. So it is all of the above. The principles of management are intended to be applied to all types and sizes of organizations. This statement reflects that the principles of management are general guidelines, flexible, universally applicable, and mainly behavioral. Hope you have understood what the option is. And the option is universally applicable. Any kind of business can use principle of management. The principles of management do not provide ready-made straight-jacket solution or ready-made solution to all management problems because the real business situations are complex, the real business situations are dynamic, the principles act as general guidelines, and all of the above. This is again a straightforward question. Hope you will be able to answer it. And it is all of the above. Principles of management can be modified by the manager when the situation demands. This statement implies that the principles of management are rigid, contingent, flexible, universally applicable. What could it be? So the answer is flexible because it can be modified by the manager under different circumstances. Principles of management enhance the understanding of relationship between human and material resources for the achievement of organizational goal. Identify the feature of the principle of management being described in the given statement. Cause and effect relationship, optimum utilization of resources and effective administration, formed by practice and experimentation, mainly behavioral. The clue is there in the question itself. Understanding of relationship between humans, human and material resources. So that is mainly behavioral. The application of the principles of management has to be changed as per the requirements of the prevailing situation at a particular point of time, which feature has been described here. Contingent, mainly behavioral, cause and effect relationship, general guidelines. The answer is contingent. Principles of management emphasize on logical and rational decision making rather than on the basis of bias and prejudice. What does it refer to? So, we have seen that before, hope you remember that. No, there is no bias and prejudice. It is in which option? So, which option will be the right answer? Providing managers with useful insight into reality or scientific decision, meeting changing environmental requirements, and all of the above. The answer is scientific decision. तो ये ऐसे क्वेश्चन है जिसमें 4 पॉइंट्स रिगार्डिंग सिग्निफिकेंस ऑफ प्रिंसिपल्स ऑफ मैनेजमेंट लिखने के लिए बोला है। तो फर्स्ट वन है प्रोवाइडिंग मैनेजर्स विथ यूजफुल इंसाइट इनटू रियलिटी। वो किस तरह से इंसाइट किस तरह से आता है, क्योंकि ये जो प्रिंसिपल्स हैं वो मैनेजर्स को नॉलेज प्रोवाइड करते हैं और नॉलेज, एबिलिटी और अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ मैनेजरियल सिचुएशन, किस तरह से एक मैनेजरियल सिचुएशन, कोई भी सिचुएशन आता हो मैनेज करने के लिए वो किस तरह से हैंडल करना है, इसका नॉलेज देते हैं। और दिस इम्प्रूव्स मैनेजरियल एफिशिएंसी। एफिशिएंसी किस, जैसे उन्होंने एक एग्जांपल दिया हुआ कि प्रिंसिपल ऑफ डेलीगेशन। प्रिंसिपल ऑफ डेलीगेशन का मतलब अपने हिस्से का कुछ काम सबऑर्डिनेट्स को देना। हम क्यों ऐसा करते हैं कि ताकि हमारे पास समय रहे बाकी कॉम्प्लेक्स कामों को देखने के लिए। तो दिस इज वन ऑफ द प्रिंसिपल दैट द मैनेजर यूजेस टू improve his efficiency। तो इन्होंने जस्ट एग्जांपल दिया है। साइंटिफिक डिसीजन मैनेजमेंट प्रिंसिपल हेल्प्स इन थॉटफुल डिसीजन मेकिंग, दूसरों के बारे में भी सोच के डिसीजन लेना, और ये लॉजिक के ऊपर आधारित है, ब्लाइंड फेथ या गेसवर्क नहीं है। Optimum utilization of resources and effective administration. Optimum means best use of various resources such as human resource, finance, man-made resources, and effective administration. So all this, the principle of management helps. So what it will help you to save time, effort, and energy, and increase productivity. Then management training, education, and research. For all these three, principles of management are used. Not only that, it helped in the development of the subject as management as a subject. And in professional courses such as BBA, MBA, and all, principles of management is part of the curriculum. अगले क्वेश्चन में पूछा गया है कि explain why it is said that principles of management are mainly behavioral and contingent in nature. सो जो एक एक चीज इन्होंने बोला है, मेनली बिहेवियरल एक्सप्लेन करना है, कंटिंजेंट एक्सप्लेन करना है। एक और बात पूछा है कि ऑल्सो एक्सप्लेन हाउ प्रिंसिपल्स ऑफ मैनेजमेंट प्रोवाइड्स मैनेजर विथ यूजफुल इंसाइट इनटू रियलिटी। ये भी एक पॉइंट है, इसको भी हमें एक्सप्लेन करना है। एंड हेल्प्स इन थॉटफुल डिसीजन मेकिंग, ये भी एक पॉइंट है। सो इन चारों पॉइंटों को एक्सप्लेन करना है एंड इट कैरीज 3 to 4 मार्क्स। सो मेनली बिहेवियरल में क्या है कि प्रिंसिपल ऑफ मैनेजमेंट इज डीलिंग विथ human beings who have different behavior and they are different in nature. So this principles of management can be used as a base to create good relationship between individuals and materials, good relationship between the employer and the employees. Contingent their applicability depends upon the prevailing situation. कि एक सिचुएशन के लिए प्लान बनाया हो, जरूरी नहीं है कि जब ये प्लान एग्जीक्यूट कर रहे हो तो वही प्लान हम यूज करें, उसको हम बदल सकते हैं। और फॉर्म्ड बाय प्रैक्टिस एंड एक्सपेरिमेंटेशन, कि ईयर्स ऑफ एक्सपेरिमेंटेशन एंड एक्सपीरियंस के आधार पर हैं। तो इससे क्या फायदा है, ये इट विल गाइड द मैनेजर टू फेस द रियल वर्ल्ड प्रॉब्लम्स। मैनेजर कैन यूज देम इन डिफरेंट सिचुएशन टू सॉल्व द प्रॉब्लम विच आर ऑफ रिकरिंग नेचर। एक बिजनेस में जो प्रॉब्लम्स होते हैं वो लगभग सभी बिजनेस में एक टाइप के, या पुअर फाइनेंशियल मैनेजमेंट होगा, या पुअर वर्कर्स मैनेजमेंट होगा, या बैड डिसीजन होगा, या बैड प्लान होगा। सभी बिजनेस में सिमिलर टाइप के प्रॉब्लम्स ही होते हैं, उनका इंटेंसिटी बड़ा या छोटा रहता है। कॉज एंड इफेक्ट रिलेशनशिप, इसमें क्या लिखा है कि डिसीजंस जो हैं केयरफुली लेने चाहिए, तो ये फैक्ट्स या रीजंस के ऊपर डिपेंड करने चाहिए और आधारित होने चाहिए। और क्योंकि ये प्रिंसिपल्स ऑफ मैनेजमेंट पूरे रियल लाइफ प्रॉब्लम्स पे डेवलप किए गए हैं, सो इनको टेस्ट किया हुआ है कि ये लॉजिकल है या नहीं। Thus, principles of management help the managers in taking logical decisions and they are free from personal bias. Personal opinion इसमें नहीं है। With this, we end today's session. Meet you in the next session, chapter 2, part 2. Thank you.